Ever been in a conversation where someone casually drops a finance term and everyone around them starts nodding like they completely understand it? Yeah, most of them are faking it. Finance has a weird habit of taking simple ideas and giving them unnecessarily complicated names. So, today let's decode 4 finance terms that you hear everywhere, but that most people couldn't actually explain if you asked them. And trust me, they're a lot simpler than they sound. Let's start with a term you've probably experienced without realizing it. Imagine your grandfather tells you that when he was young, he could buy an entire meal for just $1. Meanwhile, today, that same dollar might barely get you a bottle of water. So what happened? Did the dollar shrink? Not physically, but it lost something called purchasing power. Purchasing power is simply what your money can actually buy. The more things your money can buy, the higher its purchasing power. The fewer things it can buy, the lower its purchasing power. So, when people complain that everything is getting expensive, what they're really saying is that their money's purchasing power is falling. Next up is expense ratio. Now imagine you decide to invest your money. You don't want to spend hours picking stocks, so you pay a professional fund manager to do the work for you. Seems fair, right? Well, that manager isn't working for free. Every year, they quietly take a tiny percentage of your investment as a fee. That fee is called the expense ratio. And before you think, it's only 1%. Who cares? Remember that the fee gets charged every single year. It's like having a tiny leak in a water tank. One drop doesn't matter. But after 20 years, you've lost a lot more water than you expected. Next up is a word that sounds terrifying, but really isn't. Amortization. Let's say you buy a car using a loan. Every month you make your payment and feel responsible and financially mature. But then, you check your loan balance a year later, and somehow you still owe a huge amount of money. How? Because in the early stages of many loans, a large part of your payment goes toward interest, and a smaller part goes toward reducing the actual loan. Over time, that slowly flips. That's called amortization. It's basically the schedule that determines how your loan payments get divided between interest and the amount you actually owe. And finally, the most important term on this list: opportunity cost. Imagine you have $100. You can buy a pair of shoes or invest the money. You can't do both. If you buy the shoes, the opportunity cost is the investment you gave up. If you invest the money, the opportunity cost is the shoes you didn't buy. In other words, every choice has a hidden cost, the thing you could have done instead. And once you start noticing opportunity costs, you realize they're everywhere. Every purchase, every investment, every financial decision. So, there you go. 4 finance terms that sound complicated but are actually pretty simple once you strip away the fancy language. And if even this isn't enough for a subscribe, then congratulations. You're officially harder to convince than a finance professor trying to explain amortization without using the word amortization. I will see you in the next one.